Welcome back from the long weekend. You're watching The Big Story. I'm Haryanto Diman. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you will not miss an episode. The Ministry of Manpower is investigating the possible breach of regulations by dorm operators who may be allowing packed food meant for migrant workers to go rancid after being left in the open. Now, it comes after the Straits Times visited 25 workers' dormitories across Singapore over a 13-day stretch and found that meals were not being delivered properly despite them being paid for. ST also found questionable food handling practices as well as some delivery firms leaving food unattended in plastic bags near the dorms. These bags of cooked food packed in styrofoam boxes are sometimes left unattended for hours, going bad by the time they are picked up. MUM says it will act against dorm operators who breach regulations and fail to ensure their residents access to safe catered food. Now check out the full video of the 13-day operation on our YouTube channel. But meanwhile, here's a snippet of the report.
A hot evening meal is something many of us take for granted. Yet for some migrant workers, such a meal is often promised and paid for, but not delivered. Many worker dorms have their own canteens or internal food delivery, yet some workers, in an effort to cut costs, order cheaper food from external caterers. However, the way in which this food is delivered can turn a healthy meal into a health hazard. Over the course of 2 weeks from March 23rd this year, the Straits Times observed food packages left by roadsides. Due to workers' long shifts, it can be hours before they're picked up. This leaves workers with cold food turned rancid from being left exposed to the elements, and in some cases, vermin.
Leader who worked with a colleague at the time to obtain $523,000 in bribes from multiple suppliers has been sentenced to 3 years and 2 months jail. The court also ordered C. Hock Lam to pay a penalty of $261,500. If he fails to do so, he will have to spend an additional 523 days behind bars. C had earlier pleaded guilty to 10 counts of corruption. Now, his sentencing comes after his accomplice, Lim Kian Kok, was sentenced to 4 years and 5 months jail on March 31st after the latter pleaded guilty to 12 graft charges. Malaysia's Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi is looking to have his graft charges dropped. His lawyer citing what they say are new facts and evidence in the case. Zahid's lawyer, Mr. Hamidi Muhammad Noor, sought for the trial to be postponed because of this development. The Court of Appeal judge allowed it, fixing August 1st for parties to inform the court on the result of the representation. Zahid is facing 47 charges involving tens of millions of ringgit belonging to a charitable foundation he established. And before we go, families in the US and Canada flocked to the cinemas over the weekend for the new Super Mario Bros. Movie, signaling a possible return for the once reliable family flick. The animated movie, starring the voices of Chris Pratt and Jack Black, generated close to 195 million Singapore dollars in ticket sales over the weekend stateside. And you can also enjoy a fun ride down memory lane with Mario on our website as we track the history of one of the most iconic video game figures of all time. Well, let us know if you are going to be watching the movie. Now, for more on the videos, visit straitstimes.com as well as our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman. Join us tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.